the introductory session and also the demo session for the PMP exam. And I expect that all of you can hear me and see my screen. The objective for the next 2 hours is very simple. First, I would give you a general understanding of the PMP exam. Why the PMP exam? Who are the right candidates for the PMP exam? And what is expected of you when you are getting ready for the PMP exam, and how could I help in your journey? So my name is Mudassir Iqbal. I have been providing project management training for almost like last 18 years. I started that in 2007. I'm by profession an IT consultant. I'm currently working as on a director positions, and except in addition to that, this training. Project management is basically very close to my heart. Reason being, whatever you do in your life, whatever professional position that you have in your life, even in your personal life, everything relates to project management. Is it about your career journey? It's a project. It is about your educational journey. It's your project. It's about your kids' educational journey. It's a project. Everything starts and ends. There's nothing which remains infinite. So that's a project. And that is why I emphasize a lot that as a young professional, as a mid-level professional, mid-career professionals, project management is one of the art that you should know and you should practice, because that helps you a lot in every field of life. So next 1 hour, all these items, why PMI and all this, and then at the end of the session, we'll talk about the classes, preparatory classes that are going to start from 15th of June. What are the prices? How could you avail the discount, and how should you get start preparing? If anyone has a question, they can post it in the chat, and I will come back to it in the later half. So now in today's world, we hear a lot about Project Management Institute, PMI, PMP, PGMP, Project Portfolio, Agile Project Management, and all these things. But do you really think that there is no project management before 1969? Obviously there is. We all know about Thomas. We all know about the Taj Mahal, the trains, the bridges, the Philadelphia tunnels, all these things. These were the projects. But why, at what time we realized as a human being that we are losing this skill? And that is what happened in 1969. Can any one of you answer, and I'm sure of subcontinent and here, do you have an idea that how the Taj Mahal was constructed? I'm sure not. Do you have an idea that how the pyramids were constructed? So realizing the fact that a lot of information and a lot of skills are getting lost over the time, in 1969, Ned Eggman and Susan started this in the Georgia Institute of Technology, and the focus was construction. But today we have more, I think 1.4 million project management certified, PMP certified, and I mean about 20 million subscribers or members for the Project Management Institute. And the idea is simple, that we all could speak in a language that we all can understand. We have people here who speaks in English, Arabic, Philippine, Urdu, but what is connecting us? It's a language that is in English. So Project Management Institute brought this PMI credential to make sure that whoever is talking about project, they are speaking one language. That is the project management professional language. So if I say, please provide me the project management plan, you don't bring me project schedule. If I ask you to bring me a risk register, you don't bring me the risk plan. And then if you realize that this is a world renowned and established certification. So whether you are sitting in Pakistan, in Philippines, in India, in Bangladesh, in US, in Canada, everyone is connected because of this one certification. They all understand each other because of this one certification. They all can communicate because the process that has been defined in the certification. PMI has a long list of certifications. Some of those are here. There are no hierarchy. So you cannot say that I need to start this and do this and do this and do that. No. Yes, so CAPM and PMP is there. So CAPM is for the people who are just starting their journey. PMP is for the people who have spent 4 or 5 years as a professional life and they have been into a leading position. Not exactly project managers, their designation of position, but in terms of lead technical architect, lead developer, lead system analyst, anything in a position where you are dealing groups of tasks, you have some people who are reporting to you, and then you are actually helping as an overall in a project. So they are not looking for someone who is always sitting at the project manager's level, somebody who is leading, because whenever there is a leadership within any organization or any project, it is on multiple levels. So you have CEO, then you have CEO, another C levels, then you have D levels, and then other. So if you are talking about a big project like 10 or 15 buildings, you might have a director and director construction and a director electrical and all this, and then structure comes down. So what they are looking at is you being in a leadership position. You have delivered something when you are responsible for some team members. Making sense? PMP certification, as I have already explained, acknowledges candidates skilled at managing the people, processes, and business priorities. One of the most important items that I have been saying for last 10 years and PMI for last 5 years is that if you do not understand business priorities, if you do not understand what is time to market, if you do not understand that what is the bottom line, you cannot be a good project manager. You may deliver a very good project, but what is the point if the time has passed? So let's say if you are talking of this New Year holidays, and you want to establish or you want to launch a new hotel, if you pass that New Year holidays, you will lose a huge chunk of amount. So business priorities is very important when it comes to you as a professional, when it comes to you as a project manager, because you are the person who is actually gear of the whole this system. If you are running right and if you are delivering right, then the whole system can work. But if you are not focusing on a bottom line and if you are not focusing on delivering, then the whole system will collapse. Again, PMI is the world leading authority on project management. It's a validation of your experience. Organization across the globe look for PMP certification. Most of the jobs that you have in Middle East, in America, in Canada, they require PMP. And it's not about that once you have a PMP, you become a good project manager. It is very simple. You can speak the same language. It is very simple. You understand what the project charter is. It's very simple. You understand what the escalation matrix is. It's very simple. You understand what is your role within an organization is, what is your role within a project is. It's nothing else. So it is required to get, this certification is required to get you on the table, but how you behave and how you respond and how you deliver on the table, it is on you. And that is where the soft skills comes in. That is where your experience comes in. And we'll talk about both a little bit in this session. I told you, I think now we have 114 million PMP certified around the world. It is set 16% higher salaries, and there are some more around 32%. 90 million project management employees currently in the project-based economy. Every economy is a project-based economy. Even if you are working in a startup, it's a project. Because if you don't pivot, if you don't identify the right solution, then you have to pivot. So it's a project that you are looking at. So you will become part of this 90 million and basically this 1.4 million PMP certification holders around the world. Is anybody else experiencing that my voice is low? Okay, uh, it is fine. Okay, is it fine? Islam? Okay, thank you. Moving forward is oh, project managers. Who are you? Project managers are change agents. Project managers are people who everybody hates. Why? Anyone who wants to write in the chat why people organization hates project managers? Anyone? Why do they hate project managers? Why are we the reason who are people are not enjoying us? They always have complaints against us. No one? PM don't do anything. Okay, who can lead and start to end the project in the proper way? Hassan and Islam, simple. We are the change agent. We are asking them to change. Every human being resists the change. We it is impossible that the organization remains in a status quo situation after any project starts. There will be a change. There will something will get changed, and that is you, and that is why you are not a very likable person within an organization because you are asking people to change. You are asking people to do things differently. You are asking people to come out of their comfort zones. You need to lead the team to achieve the projects, balance the competitive objectives. You need to communicate stakeholders, team, other people, and most importantly, business value. Whether the project that you are delivering, it is adding a value to to the organization. Does this project means anything to the project or mean anything to the organization? Or it is just you have delivered because you liked it. Project management is the application of knowledge, which means what you have learned on the job, skills, which is soft skills, tools, which are templates and reporting templates and project management tools that you have, like Monday.com or Asana, uh, or all these things that you have. These are the tools and the techniques that you have. PMP is the most important industry recognized certification. As I said, you learn to speak the proper project management language. You understand the proper project management language. You know what is the project management, what is expected of project managers, and what are the first and love. It was launched in 1984, and now we are in what, almost 40 years into it. And during this time, we have um, the first PM book was, I think it was out in 1969, and now we are in PM book 7, and PM book 8 is on the way. What has changed? Why these PM books are coming? And yesterday, one of the person I was talking to, and he was saying that I'm doing a master in a project management. Master in a project management, fine if you really have 1 year and a lot of money for you, which you do that, but it is not really going to help you, because certification in these kind of areas are important, because knowledge is changing, and you just cannot stand on a knowledge of the master and then wait and don't know what is happening in over the period of time. And that is where PMP serves you better, because it goes into the depth that is needed for the time. So till PM book 6, PMI was focusing on technical project management. From PM book 7 and exam content outline 2001, they are focusing on business value. So most important item is tailoring, which means they are not prescribing you something. I'm sure you all have an idea what does prescription means. When you go to the doctor, they give you a prescription because they have a specific problem and they want a specific solution for it. But I'm sure the all 17 that we are here, we have our own problems. We have our own projects. We have our own surroundings. We have our own stakeholders. And one prescription cannot fit. And that is where tailoring comes in. So PMI is suggesting that this is the whole project process. Tailor it based on your requirement. Take an example of Boeing. Boeing is constructing aeroplanes. Think of the risk management level. Or take an example of any pharmaceutical medicine. It takes 10 years for a medicine to come out into the market. Why? First chemical test, then animal test, then another test, then human test, and then it comes into the market. So the risk management is very, very detailed. How many of you are in IT and you are doing risk management more than high and low? Nobody is going to die. So tailoring helps us focusing on the right process, on the right scope, rather than bogging down us with the workload. No, you have to do this all sort of risk management. Come on, I'm doing an IT system. Nobody's going to die. It's a simple ERP. Fine. But think of it for the banking system. Same IT, but in the banking. Would you be leaving your one paisa or $1? No. Think of the risk management. Very high. So that is where tailoring help us focusing in terms of that what is important and what is not. And only you can decide. I cannot decide for you, because you are standing on the ground, you are in the field, and you know that what is the environment, what are the surroundings, what are the stakeholders, who are the stakeholders, what do they want. So tailoring helps you figure out what is the right way of doing the project, and but you have the overall process available to you. Again, anyone has any question, put it in the chat directly and it will come to me and I'll try to answer at the end. And that is where PMBOK guide comes in, one goal and multiple minds. Obviously, even in the PMBOK 8, you will see the whole new world of knowledge, what is happening today, how things are changing, what are the new tools and techniques are coming in. So in PMBOK 6, we were doing a lot of mathematical calculation, a lot of technical calculation, but in PMBOK 7, we are not. Why? There are tools which are doing it for us. Why should I be bothered? All I need to know is to understand why do we need it and what does it mean. But do we really need to go and calculate it? Definitely not. So it's a good practice for most of the project. Most of the time, again, it's not a Bible, so it will definitely fail somewhere. It is generally recognized as good practice. Definitely, people are following it. Projects are getting being successful because of it. Standard should be tailored as per organization, process, and project requirement. It is not prescriptive. It is a descriptive practice which tells you what you should be doing, and then you decide how you should be doing. When we are talking about exam content, understand one thing. There is no syllabus for this PMP exam. The exam is for the project management. Exam is not from the book. So PMI itself suggests 21 books for it. And they have divided the whole understanding of everything into these 6 lessons, starting with the business environment, because until you know what type of organization you are working, you cannot start the project. Once you start the project, you need to plan the project. Then you are not the person who is doing the brickwork. You are the person who is guiding people to do the brickwork. You are the person who is motivating the team to do the brickwork. And that is the leading the team. Then performance. So if you have committed 100 bricks per minute, how to do it? What trainings are required? What motivations are required? What conflict management is required? All this becomes support of the project management team performance, and then definitely grow the project. Till PMBOK 6, it was most of the predictive method. Now most of it is adaptive. So exam, ideally it is said it is 50% predictive and 50% adaptive, which means waterfall method or agile methods. But because there is a hybrid, and hybrid can only be predictive turning towards the agile. So agile not towards the predictive is hybrid. Hybrid is that you have a predictive or a waterfall structure of the project and you change some of the component to make it hybrid. And that is why almost 70% of all the questions either coming from adaptive or touching the adaptive concept, which is an agile project management, which is an agility. And obviously this is very important. We will talk about it in the proper sessions. Project management has 2 important items. As I said, PMBOK 6, it was most of technical project management. Now, PMI is saying you do the technical project management on the way you'd like to do it, but follow my principles. Make sure that your stakeholders are happy. Make sure that whatever you are doing, in whichever case you are, always your focus is organizational value delivery. Principle says lead the team, guide the team, make sure they resolve the conflicts. How you do it is in your area. So my scenario is different. Fahad's scenario is different. Faik's scenario is different. Rafe's scenario is different. Everyone's scenario is different. We are living in a developing country. There are Middle Eastern countries. Then there are European countries. Then there are Americas. Everyone has a different thing, but we believe in principles. So if the principle is same, the details can be different. The nitty-gritty can be different. We can talk differently to solve the conflict. One of the study that I always share when whenever I teach conflict is how Japan resolved the conflicts and how America resolved the conflict. Two different 180 degree different apart, but both countries are successful. Why? Because they understand their own surroundings. They are not trying to copy paste. They understand their surroundings, and that is where the principles are very very important. And then system value delivery is going over. System value delivery. You are not alone. Are you alone in your home? Uh, Islam, it is a methodology for the project management. It's not a tool for the project management. You are alone in your home. Don't you have your father, mother, sister, brother, some uncles, some aunts? No. Is your family alone in the world? No. Is your city alone in the world? No. Is your province alone in the world? No. Everything is part of something bigger. And that is called the value delivery system. You have operations, people coming and going out, they are punching in and punching out, and they are basically getting salaries, doing payments, all these things, operations. Then you have a project and programs. Above project and programs, you have portfolios. And then what projects you need to take, what programs you need to follow, what are the important portfolios that you may have. That is where the senior leadership comes in. They tell you. So if you have realized by now, project management is not about delivering a project, it is about delivering a value. You have to make sure that your project delivers the right value to the organization, and that is why A is senior leadership. And the response is going to G. A response is going from operations. Am I making some sense? I understand it's a webinar mode and most of you cannot actually communicate, but I hope it is making sense, because in the classroom we are going to go into the details of all this. I'm just giving you an overview that how things are when it comes to project management. Values, stewardship, leadership, tailoring, quality, stakeholders, teams, change management, complexities, performance domains, an area of focus of delivering projects, and they are independent, interrelated. Who are the stakeholders? Who are your team? When you know the stakeholder, when you know the team, and you understand the uncertainty within a project, that what kind of requirements you are getting, then you decide what is the development approach, whether it is agile or whether it is adaptive, what development approach you require. Then you have to plan. So these are the performance domains which where you where you make sure you deliver on the project. Once you have that understanding, how you plan, how you do project work, how do you measurement, it is based on tools and techniques. Strategy is here. You have to make sure your team remains motivated. You have to make sure your team delivers. How? You decide. There are tools, but you decide. What development approach you need to take? What is the right life cycle for your project? Structure is there. You adapt, you adopt, you define, you select based on your situation. This is PMP. So the idea, the reason I wanted to take some of it into this session, because people think of project managers as who are taking status reports. No, you are not a coordinator. You are a person who understand the organization. You are a person who understand that what is that I am doing as delivering the value. So the first question that I receive a lot and people ask me is, what is the eligibility criteria? If you have a 4 years degree, 36 months of project experience leading the projects, and there's 35 hours of training, the one which we are starting from 15, you can go for the exam. But if you have a high school degree, then you have to have a 60 months of experience. So if you realize they are not after your degrees, they are after your experience. They wanted to make sure you have the mind for the project. So if you are a member, your exam fee is 284. If you are not a member, your exam fee is 555. And if any one of you have seen my structure for the PMI certificate, in the first one I say become a member. Why? The membership fees is 139. So if you go from 284 plus 139, even then your total is 423. You save almost $120. But when you should take the PMI membership is the question that we answer in the session, because membership is for 1 year and then you can only take 3 exams in one time. Otherwise, you have to go back to your old eligibility criteria again. So that is why when to take this PMI membership, when to take the exam, so that God forbid if you fail, you have 3 attempts. First attempt is for 284, second attempt is 250, and third time is 250. I can tell you that except one student, I never had anyone who goes for the second attempt. And I'm sure you all have seen the testimonials. Everyone is saying first attempt, and first attempt. Exam is difficult. So if any one of you is thinking that exam is not difficult, is wrong. But when something is difficult, you don't step back. You get ready for that challenge. And that is what we do in the sessions. We get ready for the challenge. We provide you all the tools, exam questions, and everything to make sure that you are ready for your exam. And once you go into it and you pass it. Application criteria is simple. Another question that everyone believes, audit is very difficult, whether I will be selected for audit and all this. So when it comes to audit, it is sampling. It has nothing to do with the quality of your application. The quality of your application and the completeness of your application is already established once you submit the 5-day reviews. So once you submit the application, it takes 5 days that they review. And then after the review, they say your application is complete, you are ready to go. And then you submit, you do the payment, you are selected for audit. Only 5% is sampled for audit. And from this 5%, the 4% or 80% of this 5% is selected from America, US only. Yes, from the whole world, only 1% is selected for audit. So on a lighter note, I tell people that if you are selected for audit, I mean, don't do anything on that day. It has to be a very unfortunate day, because you be in 1% of the whole of the people who are applying for the application. So don't do anything else on that day. It's an unfortunate day. So this is very important. And then the process is very simple, so you don't need to worry about it. It's just now it's a digital one. You can just go, they send you the application and you tell them who to approve. You send them for approval and they approve electronically. It is very simple. PMP Certification Exam. So exam has technically three things: your ability to take decision, your experience of the situations and the scenarios, and the knowledge that we would be getting in the session and the books that we are going to study. That is what they try to ascertain in an exam. It's a 180 question to be answered into 30 minutes. 175 would be marked, 5 is not marked. There are 10 minutes breaks in the session. Details for this exam is available on PMP FAQs page on my website. You can take it. But what is important? It's not 1 mark against 1 question. It's a percentile. It's a psychographic testing, which means there are easy questions and difficult questions. So if you do all easy questions and you do 100 questions, you might fail. And if you do all difficult questions and do 80 questions, you pass. It makes sense? Nobody knows what is the passing percentage. It is said uh, it is said that around 67% is the passing percentage, but the point is you don't know whether you are getting 67 or not. So always go for 100%. There is no negative marking in the exam. So once you have passed through all your exams, take any, mini, miny, mo and select A, B, C, D. My suggestion, everybody, is to select B, because if it's a simple statistics, and some of the time people understand, some of the time people don't understand. It's a simple statistic. You have a question 1 to A, B, C, D. You have 25% mark, 25% every time. You select B, 25%. The next question you take, again you are taking 100%. Select B every time. Why to restructure? So all those questions that you don't know, select B. There is no negative marking, and some of those questions can take you cross the line. I will be talking about a lot of tips and tricks on these topics. See, exam content outline is the syllabus, people and business environment. So process is a technical project management. Anything that is related to your costing, risk, scope, planning, time, schedule, quality, stakeholders. This everything is process. Okay. How do you plan? How do you react? How do you respond? All this is process. Then it is people. You are people's manager. Everyone can do anything. They all have answers to their. You can go and learn the skill, but the concept of people's manager, you have to lead whom? Team. You have to talk with whom? Your management. You have to communicate with whom? Stakeholders. You have to work with whom? NGOs. You have to work with whom? Government agencies. So if you don't know how to handle people, how to understand people, how to respond to their queries, you will remain in trouble. And then the business environment. Till PMBOK 6, till exam content outline 2021. I mean before 2021. Project manager was a technical project manager. Now today, PMI is putting you in a leadership position. Leadership position takes strategic decisions. Leadership position talks about the value to the organization. Leadership position talks about how the team is going to respond. Leadership position tells whether this project is important or not. Leadership position takes the decision, and that is where the business environment is. If you don't understand the business environment, you can never suggest the right project. You can never suggest what is important and what is not. One thing that as I said, I like to be called project manager. I am in a C level. I am work with a lot of senior people, but I like to be called project manager because this is what we do. We love people. We talk with people. We manage people. We understand business. We know how where to go and how to roam around. We know what are the right projects that we should be taking. What is the right costing that should be working? What is the right structure that we should have? And that is the business environment. Team has conflict management. People has conflict management. People has motivations. People has empathy. People has emotional understanding, intelligence. Everything is part of people. And almost 42% of the questions come from this, and that is the tricky part. It's usually very difficult to remain objective when it comes to decide who are the right people to do. PMP exam questions, multiple choice, multiple responses, matching, hotspot, limited file, in the blank, limited fill in the blank questions, process groups, prototype questions. So exam is previously it was just multiple choice questions, but now they have a lot of different types, and that helps you actually. I mean, you get a very some questions are very easy, and these are guaranteed marks. As I said, business acumen, power skills, and ways of working. These are the three areas where your exam is identified. And once you go for the recertification, PMI wants you to recertify every 3 years. You should not be going for the exam. I really don't want to go for the exam. Honestly, I am done and dusted for the exam in 2007. Forget it. I don't want it. It's very difficult exam, and I don't want to fail. Okay. So very important is that you recertify, which means you do activities which are related to project management. You do activities like reading books, attending seminars, giving speeches, writing blogs, taking classes. Mean remain attached to the project management profession. Don't just take the certification and park it in your cupboards. This is what they require. So if you do this and show them that there are 60 hours in 3 years, you remain part of the project management world, you recertify. So I am recertifying since 2007 September. The next recertification date for me is uh, September 2026. Anyone has any question or anything that I can answer? Nothing. Nobody wants to raise the hand or something. No one has any question. Fahad, thank you. Go ahead. You need to write in the group chat. It will come to me and then I can answer. While I'm waiting for the question, Moving forward, to do the PMP exam, we need to read the PMP handbook. Although I have explained most of the process to you, but that is going to PDUs. Yes, we are doing the 35 PDUs in the professional development units that is required for the recertification. How I can, okay, good questions. How can I convince my leadership? Uh, so if I understand your question right, you need to fill the exam, the form. I will show you the form. I will show you the form. Let's go here. So this is the one, I don't know your name, Oppo, but this is the form where you define every project that you have. What is the approach? What is the team side? What is the project method budget? When it is started, when it is closed. This page, PMI application for certification, it has everything. You choose the project for which you have the necessary contact information, form details, project title, organization, job title, reporting area. Then how do you define the descriptive description? It is 500 words. Okay. What is the project objective? What is your role? What is your responsibility? How do you define your responsibilities? Okay. Then important information on audits. And this is example of project description. This is, I think, one example of project description. This is how you write in the planning phase, in the initiation phase, in the execution phase. And this is the one. How do you write the your leadership? I hope this answers your question, Upo. How to maintain PMP certificate after certification, means how to get PDUs after recertification. So PDUs after recertification is very easy. So let us go here and let's say recertification. And I am showing PMI's PDU, your pathway to solve Fahad. Okay. That is your PDUs, professional development units. This is the triangle that we just talked about. Okay. And this is what it was and this is how it is. These are the form of PDUs that you can do education one, giving back PDUs. This is how you claim your PDUs. You log in this and but how to get it? Okay. Maintaining multiple certifications is possible. Earning the PDUs. So if you want to do PDU category course or training, types of activities, educational events, instructor-led programs, these are the courses that you take online or on-site. Go on Udemy, you can get some. So it is written organization meetings, 12 to 24 PDUs if you are attending the PMI chapter meeting. Okay. Reading is a good way of PDU, one book, one PDU. Checking the YouTube project management video, 1 hour, 60 minutes, one PDU. Work as a practitioner, your on job hour, your PDUs. So this is definitely, this is a lot of ways that you can do, and I have written whatever is possible and a quickest way of doing it. Does this answer the question, Fahad? So Hassan, there are no past papers. What there are is basically you could say what we have is question answers, simulators. On if you go on YouTube, you have a lot of question answers being explained to you. So the idea is concept because those questions are not repeated and there are no past papers. What are the chances to that they can clear the exam? And Hassan, why do you think you cannot? Are you not leading the project? Is it not? This is not for IT. Are you leading the project? Are you a manager? Hassan Zahid. You can. Taimur Hassan, thank you. Hussain. Yes. Uh, Anyone has anything else or I go back? Okay. People, business environment. Oh, this is very good, Taimur. You can definitely take the exam. Take the exam. So, people, business environment and process, exam content outline in January 2021 is our syllabus. And this is the one that we could easily take it up and we will cover. Very important, Alex Mendozian, one of my mentors. If you don't have mentor, believe me, you are missing a lot because mentors are people who actually guide you, support you, and make sure that you remain on the top of your productivity. To have anything, you need to do certain things. To have a PMP certification, you have to do certain things. Prepare yourself. And before you do those certain things, you must adopt the mindset, which means, are you really ready for that change? To be a certain person, we do have model. To have anything, you need to do something. To do something, you have to have a mindset. The only way to live with honor in this world is to the person we pretended to be. So if you have that mindset, you can definitely go ahead. If you have decided that you have to take the exam, success rate, we don't know what is the passing percentage. You are asking success rate. My success rate is all 100%. I can give you all my emails of passing the people who have passed. Uh, People usually pass. I mean, because there are very few people who goes into the exam when they are not prepared. You get it? So people usually pass. And we make sure. I mean, I do not want my students to go into the exam and they are not ready. So I remain in contact with them. I keep on talking with them. I check their applications. I make sure they are getting ready with the right resources. Uh, so now, how to pass the exam? It's a 3-month process for me. I say 90 days is good enough time to pass the exam because that is where you need, because if you are from IT, he is from maintenance, he is from, oh, he is from somewhere else. So everyone who are from different areas, how could they actually pass? It is very important that I am an IT, but I understand maintenance, I understand risk, I understand different areas. And 10 days, 15 days, 20 days, 30 days are not good enough. Okay. You have to study continuously on it. And I'm telling you that if you take a break, I'm general engineering planning. You are perfect general engineering planning. This is perfect. Taimur, you can definitely take the exam. So you have to study continuously for it. You have to make sure that you are getting ready for it. Then you have to study. You have to take 4 full exams. In the last 15 days, take the notes for the final review. You need to read the PM book and one reference guide. Course content outline you should remember, because everything that is coming, it is coming from there. And obviously look for vulnerability in your strengths. So you can, if your internet is stable, if your surrounding is clear and clean, your camera is good, go and take the exam in your home. Okay, it is exam in the exam room, but I myself suggest go for the exam in the testing center. Reason being, if God forbid anything goes wrong, testing center take the responsibility. I was taking a CBAP exam in 2012. I was at the training center. Their internet was not working. They were not able to resolve the situation and they marked me uh, absent and failed. But because the training center was there, they sent an email and it was rescheduled. So very important, go to the Prometric session, Prometric outlet if there it is close by your home, and take the exam from there. And also take the exam in the second half. Don't do it on Saturdays and Sundays. Whether obviously Saturday and Sunday does not happen here, but don't do it on Saturdays and Sundays. The IT is sitting in US to India, and they are working in the US timeline. So if you are doing in a second clock in Saudi Arabia, then you are talking 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning in US time zones, which will definitely support you. So if anything goes wrong, they can immediately connect and resolve. So in my case, we called that person. They said, "Oh, we are just." It was on Saturday, I think, the first paper or Sunday. Said we are off. So it took them 2 days for me to respond, and I was like on the edge that whether I pass or fail, or they have rescheduled. So they rescheduled it, but this notice came after 2 days. So take it on Monday to Thursday evening times. Use it Prometric Center, and but if you don't get the time, that is fine. Again, why us? It's very simple. I've been doing it for since 2007. If not thousands, hundreds of students have passed, and I have trained hundreds of them. Most of them are still my friends. I can see one or two names are here, and we support you till the time that you are ready. We support you in your exam. We support you making sure that uh, every you are in a shape to pass the exam in your first attempt. So this is just some of the people who have passed in the last 1 year. They have sent their thank you and their exam certification, and within a minute after their exam, we just pass and above target. So if you see, it's not about that you pass above target or on that average, you pass. Nobody knows this result. Okay. Yesterday with above target scores in the all performance domains. or invaluable coaching. So one point that is very important when you are going through with me is I trust you that you can read yourself. My job is to give you a picture which is ready and which is making you think that how to solve the questions, how to get things done, what are the best way of resolving the conflicts, what is the best way of moving forward. And this is what we are going to discuss during our sessions. We have the syllabus, we have the PowerPoint presentation from the PMI that we go through, but we discuss more on the items which are needed in the real life and in the exam, not as a question, but as the scenarios, as to make sure that what is there. And then one thing that helps me is my 25 years of experience working with companies in US, Canada, Middle East, Australia, and Pakistan. Sometimes during the session, you go through my emails. How do I respond? Where do I actually preempt? Where do I don't preempt? Why and how do I write? How do I give the bad news? And this is again, all these things are learned, can be learned easily. Okay. What is most important is the whole process that you will go through. So what we will be doing is we have formula sheets. Okay. We have project management flows. So whatever whatever difficulties that you are facing is whatever understanding questions that you have, we are going through it. We are making sure that you understand the concept. Because once you understand this agile project management concept, you know where are you and how things are moving forward. I cannot take you through every question. And then if the question is your dead end. So we go through the concept, we go through the processes, that how it is started, what are the documents that are needed, how you move, what are the yes no cycles, what are the decisions that you need to take. PMP application you have already seen, how to earn PDUs. Very important, process groups. You do not need to memorize it, but you need to know what are those process groups. Without these process groups, you cannot pass. You need to know what the plan risk management is. You need to know how to control your resources, develop the schedules, perform integrated change control. And all these are concepts. These concepts will help you understand the question. These concepts will help you understand your projects that you are working on. I mean, we do have the process group details, how they are defined, which group you are going to work on, what is the all the resources are there. Don't overwhelm. Don't get overwhelmed. All the resources are available. We we are going to go through all the resources, making sure that you understand these resources, how they are, how to connect these. This is my responsibility. Okay. Process groups, flashcard, very important. Almost 600 plus 500 are there, and I keep on adding. What are flashcards? I mean, it helps you understand and question your understanding. So procurement questions. What is advertising? What is arbitration? So yes, you can go through it now. These are all free resources, definitely available for everyone, whoever wants it. But yes, arbitration, you understand it here, but what is arbitration in the whole procurement cycle? Where do you use this arbitration when there is a claims coming in? So all these things is going to help you make sure that you are ready for the exam. What else? Oh, there's cards. Project management workflows. How do you start the project? Okay. What is the whole project management workflow for the predictive one? How do you initiate the project? What is the planning project? What is the execution one? How do you monitor and control? What is the closing? Uh, we cover everything. These are available free of cost, free. You can definitely go and read it yourself. It's nothing that is hiding anywhere. But what is project initiation? Okay, there you have only read that there is a project initiation, but what exactly is project initiation? What are the business case? How do you define the charter? Then what are the baselines that you create? What are the procurement workflow that you may have on your project? What are the deliverables? How did they move from validation and making sure that yes, everything is ready? What is the information? You are the information manager. You need to communicate with the people. You have to deliver the reports. You have to share the reports. How? This is all these things will be defined. Risk management. What is risk management? What are the different ways of making sure that you avoid the risk? You jump or you don't jump. Most important item, change management. Baseline is changed, execution process things get changed, monitoring things can change when you are doing information control, perform integrated change control. All these processes, all these diagrams, all these workflows, we will be discussing in our sessions, and this is going to help you and not only understand the PMP project management methodology, but will help you in your real life. We have templates. And then again, templates are available. You go to projectmanagement.com, you can get 5 templates every week. So all these things are part of the formula sheet is very important. It is going to open here. Hardly, I think nobody gets the formula mathematical question now, but this is still part of the syllabus. So we do go through it, that how do we select the project, what is the monetary values, how do we do it, what are the sigmas. Everything is available on the website. But again, as I see it, it's a lot of information. This information needs to be put it in a way that you can see the whole picture and not as an individual puzzle pieces. So what is agile project management? What is large scale development framework? What is project management processes? Video explanations are there. All these things we will be covering in our session in detail in 36 hours, and that would help you getting ready for your exam. But I cannot get you ready for the exam. I can only help you walk on the path. I cannot walk in place of you. So if you have the mindset, if you are ready for it, join the session and we can definitely work through this. All the tools are available. Things that you need to pass, things that is required for you to pass, everything is available. Whether it is the links that you need without better degree eligibility, how to crack the exam, what are the simulators, that free simulators that are available, what you should be doing on the exam day, how you should be doing your managers, what is the exam security, how do you do the breakups in the exam. Everything that anyone ever asked on PMP is available. And it's free of cost. It's available on the website. So you don't need to come and ask. But obviously, once we go in through the session, it's all planned journey.